Hello YouTube fans, here again. And it inspired me this one, because I remember the other day offending a remake being Friday the 13th, the 2009 one. This one sort of inspired me. It inspired me. That being the dreaded Sundown, based on a true story, come out in 1976. And people thinking, well, what the fuck's that got to do with Friday the 13th? Right, I'll explain. If you remember Friday the 13th Part 2 in 1981, the original sequel, 1981, Friday the 13th Part 2, you remember the look of Jason, the bag on his head, the one bit of the eye showing, the knife in his hand, all that. Well, that was inspired by this film. It was inspired by this film. Obviously, producers and people, maybe a test audience, even audience themselves, must have thought he looked that frightening. Because we all know, one year after that, when they got to that, they opened him with the hockey mask. Obviously, people preferred the hockey mask. The hockey mask won, and the bag went bye-bye, except when you go to 2009 with the bag on his head. And then they opened it with the hockey mask. But for the second Friday the 13th, the bag was inspired by this film. And again, without repeating myself, it's inspired by and based on a true story about a serial killer, based on, I think right there, 1946. So this is based on 1946, and it's to do with these cops going after the serial killer. Now, I'm not really a love for the serial killer films. Some I don't mind, like I don't mind Emily Persate of a Pote, the get it right, Spencer, say it again. Emily Pote of a serial killer. Didn't mind that. It was disturbing. It was fucked up. It was made that way. But I didn't mind that one. I thought it was interesting, even though it was disturbing. It was a very well made film, very well acted by the actor Bain Emma. I don't mind Manhunter. I like Manhunter. It's psychological, it's suspenseful, and it was stylish. And I think one, I didn't mind Silence of the Lambs. Yes, it's disturbing and fucked up, but again, brilliant performance by Anthony Hopkins. So they sort of carry on. Even Jodie Foster did a date performance, and rightly so. So some murder films I don't mind. I don't really mind this because I felt this was a slasher, and it was disturbing, and it was frightening. So, like I say, it's based on a serial killer in 1946. And yes, he had a bag on his head. And yes, you look at him and you think straight away, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 2. Straight away, and on that, he just Matt does like that because he was inspired by this film. Which you think about it, this is Jason before Jason. So he goes around this murder with a bag on his head, without repeating myself, breaks into people's houses, and coldly bloodily kills people. This character is so frightening. To me, this character deserves the bag. He's scary as fuck. And I don't really want to say the ending to this film. I do not. I remember finding this, of all places, on YouTube. I don't know if it's still up on YouTube or maybe it's on Daily Motion now or some other network. But yeah, I watched this on YouTube and I actually liked it. I like the performance, I like the coppers, and I do remember one actor. He's been in that lots, and I mean lots of things. He was in V, the miniseries, V, the final battle. He was in a movie called Evil, very good horror film back in the late 70s. Been in loads, and I mean loads of things. And he's a cop in this, and they're trying to go after this serial killer. He's been killing women, killing men. He, like I say, he breaks into people's houses and he coldly, bloodily kills people. Remember some of the murder scenes being quite brutal. And again, I don't want to spoil this, but I've got to spoil it at the end. So, if you've never seen the dreaded Sundown, if it's still on YouTube, if it's on Daily Motion, if you can find it anywhere, you want to do it the legal way, they're the ways, or even maybe a DVD if you can find it. It's a very hard film to watch. I mean, a hard film to get. Get it out first and then go back on this review because I will have to spoil the ending. The ending is brilliant but very scary. So there's one kill in it where he gets a couple, a man and a woman, kills the man, shoots him execution style, but the woman is I've got to admit, it's not a different way of killing someone. It's not really gruesome, it's not in your face, it's not brutal or bloodthirsty, but it's not a different way of killing someone. He ties this poor woman to a tree. He gets a trumpet. I mean, what the fuck am I on about? He gets a trumpet. It has a knife on the end. When he's blowing the trumpet, it comes out and it stabs her to death. But every time he blows his trumpet, it's literally just stabbing this poor woman to death. And he kills her. And I thought, that's different. It's unique. So, all the way through the film, the cops are trying to find this killer, they're warning people. And this is like a tired town. This is, you're talking, the mid-1940s. I mean, cases like this we've never heard of before. People never heard of psychopaths and murderers. It was very not taboo. And like nowadays, every day you hear about some horrible serial killer, but back then, this was frightening. Like this one scene, he breaks into her house, he coldly bloodily murders this woman. Again, bag on the head. And what's so frightening and what's so disturbing is you never get to see the killer. You never know what his motive is, and I like that. That's why I remember they did sort of like a sequel film where there's all bits from this film. And I didn't mind it. I don't hate it. I didn't mind it, but I didn't be doing with if it was a copycat killer. It was someone who was inspired what's in the film. He had problems. Because I've seen that done loads of times. I've seen it done loads of times. And films need to learn from films, whether it's Black Christmas or this film. Not every fucking serial killer has mummy problems. Not every serial killer is Norman fucking Breaks. Not every killer gets abused sexually, mentally, beat him up, gets picked on as a kid, kills animals when he was a kid. Not every killer has to have this fucking taboo. That's what's wrong with films today. They've got to give it a black-down story, he or she. They got abused. They got sexually abused. They got sexually mutilated. They got money. Well, they've got mummy. I meant to say mummy problems. They kill animals. Blah blah blah. You could tick every board. Well, what made this person a serial killer? This to me, you don't know the motive, and that to me makes it more frightening. It's like A Nightmare on Elm Street. I like the original one, but when you got to the backdown story, Reggie's mum, the nun, got raped, blah 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 blah, I lost interest because I didn't be doing that. Same as the last Elm Street film, when he did this, what I said. He got bullied, he got raped, he killed animals. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. The less you know about why he does it, the more frightening that is, and that's what this film does. You don't know why he's doing this. You don't know the reason. And that to me is more frightening, and that's why I'm going to have to spoil the film. That's why I said, what's on YouTube? What's it on DVD? What's it any other way? So I'm going to say it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've been warned. So the finally chats up to the killer. Again, you don't see the killer. Doesn't talk. Bag on the head. They're chasing after him. He's in the woods. They've got dogs. They've got everything. Shock and horror. He gets away. And the thing is, in 1946, you do get a monologue, going to do at the beginning, saying of the day of the dreaded Sundown killer. And at the end, you get another monologue with a man jogging in the background saying they've never ever caught this killer. He got away. He stopped doing the killings at a certain day, but the day after, being 1947, and they never knew who he was. They never knew who he was. They never knew what he looked like. Never knew anything about him, and he got away with it. And I thought, fuck me, that is so frightening. Just to think of today's era. I told us back then, you're talking, 1946. 1946, in all fairness, they didn't have DNA. Like today, They didn't have all that. And you have technology like the computer, with the coffee, and all that. So, understandable. I just today that everybody would have found the killer straight away. That much computer technology, that much DNA. But I just thought it was frightening. This guy had a bag on his head. He was killing people random. He was breaking into people's houses, killing people, a lot. And the less you knew about that killer, why he was doing it, what was the motive, did he have mummy problems, did he have daddy issues, the less you didn't know anything of that shit, I always found that more frightening. More frightening. Could be your next door neighbour, could be living next door to you, could be living not far from you. That I always thought is more frightening, not knowing the reasons and not knowing who it is. And the fact the killer got away with it and nobody ever caught him, that is fucking frightening. Just like the days of Trap the Ripper, that is frightening. So 946, this is a real taste, it's a true story. If it's still on YouTube and it's still on Daily Emotion, I would say check it out. It's a dud film. It's a dud fucking film. Even I admit it was a dud film. So it comes, oh fuck it. A 4-star rating for me. But into then, be smart, be safe. I could kill something to eat right now, but into then, see you later.